Hey.
That's some good trolling.
There were no trolls in this. Not a single one of them called each other a cuckold.
But we did learn that Nilbog is goblin backwards. So.
Oh!
Oh my god!
Well, this has as much in common with the first Troll movie as either of the Troll 3 movies do. Could be an animated sequel, I guess. I don't know. What'd you think?
You know, it had its problems.
Yeah.
But the surprising thing was I didn't hate this.
Neither did I.
I agree with what you said. It would probably be better if you're high.
Probably.
But the good thing is, I'm very tired. So it's kind of the equivalent of being high.
It's on a natural high.
Yeah, because there was like points of it where I'm like, all right, like fucking creepy cloud guy. I'm like,
yeah,
all right.
You can't trust him. He's wearing socks with no shoes.
It's
like
creepy. He looked like he was high.
Yeah, this movie's best friend, honestly, is Low Expectations. Because
it was so much better than that teaser was. That teaser was awful.
It is, and it's. There's good things I could say about this.
Yeah.
It's really well made.
The colors are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like, this is a good-looking movie.
It's a great-looking film. Just in terms of just animation, if we're just speaking in terms of that, it's one of the better animated movies I've seen this year. In terms of, if we're just strictly talking about the animation and the colors and everything, it is a great-looking movie. For a movie that at the end of the day is still kind of just dangling keys in front of a kid's face, it's sort of like, yeah, they're doing that, but it's the keys to a Porsche, like...
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are a lot of manufactured bullshit things in here. You got a character that poops glitter, you got like a couple poop jokes in there, you got like the constant song and dance numbers, and of course it's trying to sell troll dolls.
Yeah.
So there's all of those things. But... there are elements to the movie that I liked, and there were characters that I laughed at. So even though there were manufactured things, there were still things about it that I thought was funny. Like, I didn't find it a hard sit, really.
Neither did I. I didn't find it a hard sit because it is very well made, because the animation is wildly ambitious. But it's wildly ambitious animation for... when you really break down the script, something I've seen 100 times before. It'd be like if you made a Pink Elephants movie from Dumbo, but just used the script to the nut job. Like, it's like, this is a trippy, like, fucked up little movie, but I've seen this story 100 times before.
I started laughing when they have the bit at the beginning where they're all trying to escape the Burgons.
The Bergens.
The Burgers, whatever. And they're trying to escape them. And they fake out that the king is dead.
Yeah.
And they have one troll with a jacked up leg. Did you notice that? Where it's like snapped in half, like, oh no, the king's gone! And I'm like, oh my god, did they just kill him? I
said every troll comes out alive.
Yeah, I thought they really did kill him, and like, I was starting to laugh, and I was trying to keep it down because like no one else is laughing, and there's kids in the audience.
I was
and
laughing.
I'm like, I don't want to be like, he's dead.
There's really only a few times I laughed in this movie. That part was one of them.
They had a dead clown troll as well. There was a funeral.
Yeah.
There was a troll funeral and a cutaway joke.
And the casket gets knocked over, and apparently what trolls do when one of them dies is their death mask is a clown face.
Well, I think... he was a clown from a previous cutaway that perhaps that troll killed because of jumping in there and scaring him. So he may be a murderer. Which would make him the first murderer in this movie, because the whole plot is about these fucking Bergen things trying to eat trolls, and previously having eaten trolls. So all of them, except for one, are troll murderers, including the sympathetic one, because he's the only one who has not eaten a troll.
Yeah.
So that means she's eaten a troll at some point, the one that's supposed to be the hero, Bergen.
This movie is basically the better version of Angry Birds.
Yeah, it really is.
They're both strikingly close in their plots. It's
really
like
is.
Angry Birds. If it was a better movie, because this is a better. I got problems with this movie, but it's better than Angry Birds.
It is.
It's better than The Nut Job, but it's like Angry Birds if they really took time out to really kind of humanize the pigs. Because this movie devotes a lot of time to making the Bergens in this not just simple cookie cutter villains in it, which they easily could have been.
They could have been like Minions ripoffs.
Yeah.
But they tried to do something with it. And honestly, they were the characters I liked the most. Because there were funny parts with them and just them being miserable. One of them's just like burying himself alive, I guess. Yeah. And so they had funny bits with them that, like, it made it interesting to see what was going on.
There's a lot more in this movie that I would have laughed at if I was really fucking high. Like, because this movie is going to be popular with two sets of people. Really little kids who just like all the singing, dancing, the colors, because really, like, there's a lot of that in this movie. Like, there's a lot
but they just pick good songs because it's a jukebox musical.
Yeah, the soundtrack is pretty good in this film, but it is like every 5 minutes there's just bright colors and singing and dancing for the kids.
Yeah.
But if you go into this movie like baked off your ass, you're gonna have the time of your life at this shit. I'm talking like sitting there watching crazy fucked up 70s kids show kind of stuff. Like your HR Puffin stuff type shit.
It's so HR Puffin stuff.
Yeah, it is wildly fucked up in that regard. Watching this movie sober is like being the only one at the rave who's not on ecstasy. Like, you're sitting there like, I wish I was having as good a time as the people in the movie are having, because they are clearly fucked up on ecstasy in this film. Like, there is just bonkers shit going on. Like, from like the random little like creepy spiders that get eaten by bigger spiders, and they look like seriously fucked up. Like,
all of the fucking things that are gonna eat them along the way were way worse than the Bergens.
Yeah, they're
just everything's gonna eat them, and it reminded me exactly of HR Puffin stuff with all the weird puff spiders and shit floating around.
Yeah,
eating each other,
and then a bigger one eats another one, and then it gets set on fire, and then the creepy face is just wink and goes away, never to be seen in the movie again.
That's the most danger that the princess is ever in.
Yeah.
Is when she eats some fucked up berries and falls in some webbing and shit, and she's gonna get killed.
Yeah.
That's the most dangerous situation she's ever in.
Yeah, like fucked up shit like that'll happen, and then she'll start like weirdly singing and scrapbooking about it. And I can picture every time in this movie that I would have laughed had I been high. If I was high off my ass and it cuts back from something relatively dramatic and then those trolls' faces pop up and are singing Total Eclipse of the Heart, like, I would have been in tears laughing at that. Watching it now, I was just kind of like, God, I wish I had something. Shrooms, I don't care. Yeah, give me some mushrooms, something. I'll eat that, fine.
I was so tired, and when it gets to the part where they're watching the Bergen girl in her room start singing Hello.
Yeah.
And there's like this trippy sequence, and she's like a floating head.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it me you're looking for? And I'm sitting here like, it's getting so weird.
Yeah, it's getting a little weird in here.
What is going on in this movie?
Yeah, and then like the True Colors scene, which is oddly poetic in the film. It's like suddenly it's turning into like Les Miserables all of a sudden, and it's like, oh, Anne Hathaway's gonna come do a really sad musical number.
I felt like in that regard, they were trying. There were
totally, yeah.
It felt like they were trying to make a movie beyond just sell the troll stuff to kids. And so they had the typical manufactured kid stuff, but you also had some sincere moments and things that you could predict because it's not a new story. Yeah. But it did feel like it wasn't so cynical as like say Norm of the North or something.
Oh god, yeah, or Norm of the North or shit like that. Oh totally. It felt to me like this is a situation where they give the writers like a set storyline that they want, and it's one you've seen a bunch of times before, so they're trying really hard to really do something with it by maybe putting in crazy visuals or wild musical numbers or really fucked up gags for stoners, because at the end of the day this is Angry Birds. It's The Nut Job. It's a
Yeah.
movie about a curmudgeon who doesn't get along with the rest of the people in the tribe, so he's ostracized for it. He lives by himself. He's a survivalist. And then something happens, and he's the hero. And then it does the other thing that 1,000 animated movies do, where he's partnered with another person, and they don't get along, and they have to travel somewhere.
He's the grumpy one, she's the happy one.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier. It's like if you had an animated movie with the ambition of the pink elephant scene, and you made it like one pink elephant doesn't get along with the other one and is a curmudgeon, and they have to travel somewhere. It's like, are you doing this? Well, at least the animation looks good.
It reminded me of The Nut Job a lot in that the grumpy one is not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he goes, far in another direction, but as far as when it starts, when he's just like, hey, don't be making all this fucking noise, we're gonna get caught by these monsters that want to eat us, and they're like, whatever, town full of idiots, all of them gotta throw the biggest party ever, and then they get caught after 20 years of hiding out from these people.
They're lucky they went 20 minutes without getting caught. I don't know how they survived 20 years.
No. And just imagining, like, what a huge length of time. 20 years. They didn't have to set that 20 years because ages are kind of ambiguous.
Yeah.
And even like, except for like the little Bergens that do grow up, the adults look the same. Like the chef lady looks the same.
Yeah.
But imagine 20 years living by herself out in the woods, just hunting for these little fuckers.
Trolls. Yeah.
Like that look on her face, like, when she first hears them. It's like, what? She must not have looked very hard for 20 years.
Exactly. It's sort of like whenever there would be an episode, like, towards the end of, like, Lost, where it's like, oh, there's suddenly island hippies living on here. Like, what? You didn't notice that any fucking time you've gone around this goddamn island? The island hippies and their temple?
They turn the ground into rainbows. Could you not follow this trail? You're not very... she was the troll chef for Trollstis.
Trollstis.
Where they eat the trolls once a year so that they will know happiness. That's their tradition.
It's their version of Whacking Day.
Yeah. And, so she was the one that was in charge of serving trolls until the trolls decided one day, hey, maybe let's not hang in this tree and get eaten. Let's go somewhere. Yeah. And they tunnel their way out. She didn't know how to hunt or how they work or anything with these trolls after how many years being like the head troll chef. Got some holes in this plot.
and really, trolls, you can fit right through that cage that you're in.
Yeah, they could have gotten away at any time. And I don't get, too, like, the trolls are like, or the Bergens are like, you'll never know happiness unless you eat a troll. Granted, we know this isn't true. They learned true happiness was in them all along.
Yeah.
But they still have, when the little king troll, when he's a kid, he wakes his dad up, and he goes like, oh, it's Trollstis, and they have this like, kind of Christmas morning where he's like, get up, it's Trollstis. And this childlike wonder. I don't know if they knew what that was, being excited for Trollstis. Maybe put 2 and 2 together here. You could figure out what... I don't know.
Happiness only comes when you eat trolls and with the prospect of eating trolls. It's like the process of eating chicken McNuggets makes me happy, and so does the idea of walking to go get them. Maybe that's the logic they're using here. Because clearly McNuggets are the only thing that make me happy.
And they call it McNugget Day.
Yeah, a.k.a. Tuesday.
Once a year, you wander to McDonald's to eat some McNuggets to know what true happiness is.
Once a year? No way. I'd be miserable. Once a week. Every Tuesday.
What kind of sauce you got?
Habanero ranch and honey mustard.
Oh, I get the sweet and sour.
And sometimes I'll mix it up. Like, once in a while I'll mix it up. I did a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I'm feeling dangerous today. I'm gonna have sweet and sour and hot mustard.
When's that movie coming out? When's the McNugget movie coming out?
Movie?
They've been mascots for quite some time. When is their chance to... When is, like, McDonald and the Nuggets coming out, and they're like the new Minions?
The finale of The Reviewers, that was scripted, but it was never made, had the Jeff character becoming an internet rapper named MC Nuggets. He was singing about his love is sweet and sour or something. Like, I can't remember. It was
sweet. That seems like
silly.
something that would also be good if you're high.
Yeah, probably wrote it while high. I like with this though, like in terms of what was his name? Brace, the Justin Timberlake character. Branch. In terms of that, like. The difference between him and
I laughed when they went into his backstory.
Oh, that was funny. Like
his grandma getting eaten right from him.
Because he's like, singing killed my grandmother. Like, I laughed at that. I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be. I think I am.
I think it was supposed to be kind of funny because they were trying to soften the blow and the fact that he got his grandmother murdered.
Yeah. I was like, I think I'm supposed to be I hope so. I am laughing at that. But I really couldn't get behind that character because the whole time I kept thinking Justin Timberlake is wildly miscast in this role. Like, I
didn't realize it was him until he started singing some of the songs, and I was like, oh, okay, that was the Timberlake character.
And that's why he's the voice in this, so he can end up singing. But because he's not like this known kind of character actor or curmudgeon-y character actor, it's like he's coming across more of a jerk, and not that he's really funny, cranky. Like, okay, the other movies have Will Arnett. That makes sense, you know, Will Arnett's playing the grumpy character. Jason Sudeikis in Angry Birds, like, yeah, that's a guy who can pull off, like, cranky. This, it's like, yeah, he's right most of the time, but he just mainly comes across as a jerk, because he's not a comedian. He's not like this known curmudgeon-y actor. The whole time, I'm thinking like, wow, if you put like Louis Black in this, or like, hell, like Andrew Dice Clay as the lead troll, like, I would easily be laughing at a lot of this, and probably go so far as to even recommend the movie. But Justin Timberlake, the whole time, I kept thinking like, this isn't the kind of role he should be doing. He's only here just so he can be on the soundtrack. Yeah, no, I agree. It would have been funnier with a different, like a more curmudgeonly actor, I think. Like, some parts of his I laughed at. Like when she starts singing the song with the ukulele and then he's like, may I? Throws it in the flames. Some of it was kind of funny, but I agree, like, it would have punched harder if it had a different voice actor. I didn't think about him that much, so I never really stopped to think, oh, he's miscast. But now that you pointed out, I mean, yeah, they could have done a better job with that. And maybe I am thinking so much about him being miscast because I've seen this character in countless movies before. So it's like, I've seen this character even in bad movies. I've seen this kind of character work. Like, Will Arnett works in that kind of character, as stupid as the nut job is. Jason Sudeikis in Angry Birds. Like, okay, that's fine, even though it's not much of a movie. This, I'm like, wow, could we have put Justin Timberlake in one of those other two movies and put Will Arnett here? Yeah, if Will Arnett was doing Branch, I think that would have worked a little better. Put Liam Neeson in there. Liam Neeson as Raccoon. Yeah. Jason Statham as Branch. Man, that would have been amazing. Steven Seagal is Branch. That, you know what? I can picture that working more than Justin Timberlake. Okay, I'm just thinking about this now. This isn't relating to the topic at hand, but the movie. Did they murder the chef and the troll that sold them out? Last we saw, they were on a flaming barrel of some sort, or like a grill or something, flying away on fire. Are they dead? Yeah, what did happen to them by the end of it? I think they died in flames. Probably. Like, everyone's singing this happy song. This is like the happiness was in you all along. We're gonna get along. Dance. Even though you murdered our friends and family in the past. But they all are dancing and singing,
and then they kick them out on a flaming wheel, and then or a flaming grill of some sort.
Was that just a really quick shot? I might have been yawning on that shot or something because I don't even remember that.
They were trying to stab them in the middle of the song. Like the chef's like, "No, my way." So it's not like they were just like cold-heartedly just kill them in cold blood, but like she starts doing that, and then they tip her over onto something that's on fire that has wheels, and then she's wheeling out the window or out the door, and then you see the hippie one that sold them out with her, and they're like, ah, like flying down the steps, and you never see them again.
Yeah.
And then they were like, rainbows on, and then we're gonna forget that happened.
I guess they're just banished.
Dance.
Out of control.
Can you imagine their last moments? Flaming on the ground. And then they hear in the background, dance, 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 yeah. I got music and something.
If this movie had been made a couple decades ago, that's exactly what would have happened. We would have seen their corpses.
We did see some corpses in this.
Yeah.
And you got to see like some troll recipes with some dead trolls in there.
Fruit troll-ups.
I realize 20 years have passed, but there are still some trolls alive that do recall having friends and family eaten by these very people.
Yeah.
The dad troll's still around. So they're just gonna get over that?
Maybe the whole thing is an allegory for Nazi Germany. I mean, it is Oscar season. This could be like Oscar bait, you know?
I see where you're going.
I mean, I've seen The Night Porter. The former prisoner and the former Nazi had a great time together till they were killed at the end. Sorry, spoiler.
Speaking of the Nazis, you know what this was like a better version of the Smurfs.
Oh, yeah.
It was totally that.
Yeah.
They were the Smurfs if they weren't like fucking dumb as shit.
Yeah.
And they want to eat them. You got like the chef who's kind of the Gargamel.
Yeah.
It kind of like hooked on this idea of eating them for no particular reason. It's not like they have nutritional value. It's just some idea they're stuck on forever.
Yeah. No,
that's kind of that.
It's exactly what it's Smurfs with better writing.
Yeah.
It isn't one of. I'll give it that. You know what? Yeah, I've seen this kind of movie before in the movies we mentioned earlier, but you know, I would rather have this kind of movie I've seen before than I would like, oh, they find a magical portal and end up in New York City live action and they gotta move in with Ashton Kutcher. Like,
I mean, it had its own world, and it had this aesthetic about it, like that felt like it was in its own. So it wasn't like they were, let's just take them to the real world Looney Tunes style.
Exactly.
You know? Like Space Jam style.
Like, and Looney Tunes back in action.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad they did it like this. I would rather have like, I can live with this being basically a better version of Angry Birds, so long as it isn't just another Smurfs. Because
I wanted to hate this, and I did hate it from all the advertising and shit, but that's kind of with the territory. And when it started, I was worried, because when they started with the scrapbook stuff, they started doing things like OMG and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh no. And they like have him like shit glitter out on stuff. I'm like, oh. But then they started like going away from that stuff, and it was very minimal. So it felt like the stuff that was there was fine. It didn't feel like it felt more natural, I should say, that they included that rather than just pandering. Let's include this for whatever.
I felt that way while watching it. Where I basically come down on this is mainly like, the entertainment I got from it was just how fucked up a lot of the animation was, and like all the really crazy creatures and wild shit that's going on.
The designers probably had a lot of fun making this. And I enjoyed that there was like different body types and different types of characters, and especially for the female characters.
Yeah.
There was no, like, same face going on, and there was no, like, sexualization going on, which is, sad to say for kids' movies, really refreshing.
Which is saying something, considering there are a couple of trolls who are apparently nudists that are just naked through the movie.
That's
And
true.
One of them only speaks in auto-tune. That was kind of funny. But I as it is, it's sort of like I'd recommend it as a rental, because the animation is really good. And there were a few times I laughed. I couldn't justify seeing this in theaters because I didn't laugh that much in it, and it is a comedy, and I really didn't laugh that much. But I was in awe a lot of the animation, although I do recommend seeing it in theaters if you get really fucked up first. Like, see it in 3D. Like,
You know, oh, sorry. Go
no, I was just gonna say, like, get fucked up. It's just, I won't say what, because I might get in trouble, but just, you know what I mean. Then I recommend seeing this in theaters.
After seeing this, it makes it even funnier imagining Matthew watching this and being so angry.
Yeah, he didn't like it
Hated
very
this.
much. He didn't like it.
Like, I mean, I could name so many better kids' movies. Don't get me wrong, but I
so
think,
could I.
But I think, like, if you're someone, like, if you have kids and they want to go see it, and you know you want something that everyone can watch, I think this was fine. There were things that I laughed at, so I didn't feel like I wasted my time on it. It didn't feel like I was angry or anything.
I've seen far worse movies that can be classified as they're flashing a bunch of bright colors at the screen to make the kids clap.
Yeah.
And maybe this one does that better because it is kind of part of the story, as opposed to like watching the Oogie Loves or some shit like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the trolls, that's the bright colors and all of the weird, kooky Lisa Frank stuff going on, that's part of what it is.
Yeah, so it's like there is context to the keys being dangled in front of your face.
And it is part of the plot. They're true colors.
It is.
And they say true colors,
it's
and
like,
they have all the bright colors.
I gotta give it that. Like, this movie, it could be Smurfs, it could be something as fucking cynical as Norm of the North, it could be, you know, some shit like The Nut Job or Angry Birds, and not that it's, like, this isn't even one of the best kids movies I've seen this year, but going back to what I said earlier, its best friend is Low Expectations, because it's not that bad. It's not even bad, really. It's just, it's serviceable as a rental, or if you see it in theaters, boy, is it serviceable for a trip. Like, they knew what they were doing when they made this shit. Like, they know that this has another audience. And you know what? You're probably going to get a double whammy of some good trippy shit this weekend between Trolls and Doctor Strange.
And that's your double feature tonight.
It is my double feature, and I'm fucking sober. God damn it. Any other final thoughts about this?
No, I got nothing else. I think it's covered.
Yeah, we liked it better than Matthew did.
Damn it! Fucking bullshit! What a bullocking tits ass of a movie!
Or as I call it, Nuki 2. Really? Damn, dude.
This is the worst thing since Hiroshima!
God, if he's mad at this, what's he gonna say when Rock Dog comes out? Or
I thought Boss Baby looked good, though.
Yeah, it's about time we remade Little Man. That the Bugs Bunny cartoon with the adult baby. God, Boss Baby looks
just
like shit.
It was just that Roger Rabbit character, the baby Huey, or what was his name? Not
Baby
Huey.
Herman.
Herman, yeah, Baby Herman. It was just that.
Oh, even going back before that, it's there was a Bugs Bunny cartoon that's the same thing, where it's a baby but he's an adult, and it's boy, man, yeah. Watch yourself the trailer for Boss Baby.
Yeah,
that's a thing that's happening.
If you want to look at something that makes you sad, like you thought Trolls would be, Boss Baby trailer.
Boss Baby trailer.
If you hate yourself.
Like, if Stewie Griffin is too much for the little ones, here's Boss Baby. Fuck that.
I don't like Baldwin. Why?
Yeah, that should be Stephen Baldwin.
He's too good of a Baldwin for this.
No, he'll just be in the religious version. See ya.
Bye.